Now let's talk a little bit about what was announced quietly yesterday, but went public today, which is the SJW Converged DC Comics is attempting to get its pet SJWs under control. Now they're kind of nominally trying to blame it on, the SJWs are spinning their narrative, of course, and so the narrative is that DC is doing this in order to rein in the horrible behavior of Ethan Van Sciver. Now this is ridiculous, of course, because Van Sciver is he is not the sinner, he is the one who has been sinned against. As is often the case with SJWs, all of the comments that he made that they object to were in response to attacks on him. And DC knows it. They looked into it. And so what they are trying to do is not discipline their artist, Van Sciver. They are attempting to get these other DC-affiliated people to shut the hell up. Now, the reason that I know that's exactly what's going on is because it's exactly the same thing we saw from Tor several years ago. If you recall, all of my run-ins with the science fiction SJWs were started by the Tor vice president and chief of science fiction, Patrick Nielsen Hayden, who had attacked my selection as a Nebula juror back in 2005, I think it was. Might have been 2008, but I think it was 2005. Anyhow, he whipped people up into, enough of a frenzy that eventually Tor's art director was running around calling Tor's own authors neo-Nazis. Okay? This was astonishing. Anyhow, the VFM ended up hitting Tor's owner very hard with demands for apologies and so forth. Tom Doherty actually required the art director to publicly apologize, and basically you haven't heard a single damn thing out of anybody at Tor on social media about this kind of stuff since. Which, is a good thing, because that sort of behavior was totally unprofessional, totally uncalled for, and totally ridiculous. The fact that they tried to spin it around and claim that we were the offenders, we, the people who were being attacked, were the ones starting everything. The business executives saw through that bullshit right away and told them to shut the hell up. That's what DC is trying to do, and I am dubious that it will be successful because, in my limited experience of the comics world, most of the sort of independent creator types are much less professional than you see in the science fiction publishing world. There, at least, they try to behave. They might overstep their bounds and so forth, but they at least understand that if you write something, it's going to be saved, and anyone with half a brain is going to be able to compare the date on your original post to the person responding to it, and no matter how you spin it, people are going to figure out that you were the initiator. So, anyhow, I just find it an interesting sign that the big two have some idea where the trouble is coming from. I don't think they're going to be able to do a damn thing about it. I don't think they realize how hopelessly converged they are. It is very common, just so you understand, it is very common for the executives, the CEOs, the vice presidents, whatever, to not know very much about their subordinates. So I don't think that they have any idea how radicalized their organization has become. A lot of the people, and also a lot of the people who are running it have come up through the converged independent comics. And so, that's why this is going to be an interesting experience, and I think that you're going to see a lot more sparks and fireworks out of our entry into comics than you did with our entry into the science fiction publishing world. So, anyhow, I think we're going to have a lot of fun. And so that's what's going on. Not, it's Valentine's Day, so I will let you go to your either your celebrations. Striper, I was not a striper guy. The first album I ever bought was AC/DC Back in Black. So, my musical style tends to run considerably more to My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult. You obviously don't know very much about me. You understand that I have 3 Billboard Top 40 club chart credits to my name. The other bands on my record label were Ministry, KMFDM, My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult. One of the other bands on the label that published us was 9 Inch Nails. So I know considerably more about music than you do, and I certainly never owned a Striper album, of all things. Yeah, anyhow, no, and it's always kind of funny what people will try to come up with to, if you're going to try to rag on somebody who's reasonably well known, you might want, I love the Cult, actually. I do love the Cult. They are on the, actually I like the older Cult better, and I like some of the Southern Death Cult stuff, but, oh, what do you mean? There's no contradiction between being a fan and ragging. I mean, there's a reason why my biggest fans call me Vox RR Day, because I'm very late on finishing that. So, update on Alt Hero. The first print issue. Now that we've figured out how to do these, the first digital issue and the first print issue of both Alt Hero #1 and Avalon #1 are going to be coming out next month, and we are hard at work on. The first issues are all inked and illustrated. Now they're just getting the coloring done. We've even got some of the covers done. It's a long process. It's a long haul. We probably won't get all the issues out by the end of the year, but we will get a lot of them out, and we're making solid progress. So, anyhow, that's all I have. So have a good evening. Thanks for your support, and if you poke around Amazon, like I said, you just might find something. So have a good evening.